Presidentja e Kosovës Vjosa Osmani është nderuar sot me çmimin për gratë, paqen dhe sigurinë nga Asambleja Parlamentare e NATO-s, një vlerësim i rëndësishëm ndërkombëtar që nderon gratë lidere për kontributin e tyre në ndërtimin e paqes, forcimin e sigurisë dhe avancimin e demokracisë. Në fjalën e saj gjatë pranimit të çmimit, Osmani tha se ky vlerësim i dedikohet popullit të Kosovës, e veçanërisht grave që kanë luajtur rol kyç në ndërtimin e paqes dhe arritjen e lirisë. Ky është një nder i veçantë dhe një çmim që i dedikohet popullit të Kosovës e në veçanti të gjitha grave të Kosovës, atyre që me guxim, dinjitet e dashuri ndihmuan ndërtimin e paqes dhe arritjen e lirisë sonë, theksoi presidentja Osmani. Ajo shtoi se paqja dhe demokracia në Kosovë janë ndërtuar mbi përkushtimin dhe guximin e grave që kanë qëndruar të palëkundura në rrugën drejt lirisë dhe barazisë. Presidentja theksoi gjithashtu se ky vlerësim është një njohje edhe për angazhimin e Kosovës në zbatimin e agjendës për gratë, paqen dhe sigurinë përmes forumit ndërkombëtar për gratë, paqen dhe sigurinë, si dhe qendrës rajonale të ekselencës, të cilat tashmë janë shndërruar në platforma të rëndësishme bashkëpunimi rajonal dhe ndërkombëtar. Ky çmim e pozicionon Kosovën si një model global për përfshirjen e grave në proceset e paqes dhe sigurisë, ndërsa presidentja Osmani bëhet lidere e parë në Europën juglindore që nderohet me këtë çmim prestigjioz.
With compassion, conviction and courage. It is therefore that I dedicate this award to them, to the women of Kosovo, to the mothers and daughters who still wait for justice for their loved ones, and to the young women who now lead with vision, a vision of a Kosovo where equality is not just a distant dream, but a daily pursuit. I still remember the sound of the first NATO planes flying above our cities, not as a sound of war, but as a sound of hope returning, as the strongest symbol of peace coming. It was then that we learned a truth that will forever define us. Even the smaller nations can carry the world's biggest truths, that freedom knows no size and courage has no gender. Freedom and peace in Kosovo were earned through the bravery of the men and women alike, and through the support of our NATO allies, who not only stopped the suffering of an innocent people fighting for their freedom, but also restored the light of hope after centuries of oppression. We rebuilt our country from the ashes of war, guided by the belief that the horrors of war must never, ever be repeated. Today and always, we honor NATO's decisive role in achieving our freedom and in maintaining peace. And we remain deeply grateful to every ally who stood by our people in our darkest hours. So when we look at NATO, we don't simply see a fortress of force, but a symbol of peace, a force for good, a living example of how nations, when united in purpose, can make the world not just safer, but also so much better. Ladies and gentlemen, members of this assembly, Kosovo has shown what is possible when friends and allies stand together in defense of values. Our progress speaks for itself. Year after year, international indices confirm Kosovo's ever-thriving democracy. We are proud that our country today ranks as one of the safest in Europe and the world, with one of the lowest crime rates on the continent and beyond. We have continued to strengthen our rule of law and our democratic institutions, ranking best in the region for years. This is the result of the values that we have chosen: freedom, democracy, and justice. And this is what a people can achieve when peace is given a chance. So, dear friends, this award also speaks to a truth I hold close to heart. Peace without women is incomplete. Security without women at the table is unsustainable. And democracy without women is simply a job unfinished. That is why Kosovo has placed the women, peace and security agenda at the heart of our national progress, not as a policy of convenience, but as a conviction of conscience. Defending this agenda precisely when it is hard, precisely when it's not convenient, shows our very genuine and true commitment. Through our International Forum for Women, Peace and Security, held each year in Pristina, our capital, we have created a space where leaders, peace builders, and survivors come together to turn pain into purpose and vision into action. Building on this commitment, Kosovo now hosts the Regional Center of Excellence for Women, Peace and Security, the only one of its kind in Europe. This center, established under the presidency, serves as a platform for learning, exchanging, and most importantly, for empowering. It connects local women-led organizations with global partners to strengthen inclusion and amplify women's voices in peace building. Its creation is the result of decades of resilience and sacrifice by Kosovo's women, from resistance to rebuilding, from war to peace. Our progress has been recognized globally, but it remains a shared responsibility. Violence against women, discrimination and inequality still affect societies everywhere, including ours. Gender-based violence continues to be a pandemic that crosses borders and generations. Combating it requires joint action of both women and men, and the firm commitment of every single nation who believes in justice. Moreover, economic empowerment, education, and political participation are essential to ending this cycle. Without the active participation of women and girls, we cannot build a fairer world. Without women at the table, it is hard to achieve peace. Because when women are included, peace always comes faster and always lasts longer. So, dear colleagues, Kosovo's history is the very embodiment of the women, peace, and security agenda. Women have been essential in our fight for freedom, in building peace, and in strengthening and maintaining it. From the front lines of war to the halls of diplomacy, women have stood tall as leaders, survivors, educators, and reformers. They have faced prejudice with dignity, they faced broken barriers with determination, and they have fought into transforming our society for the better with an unparalleled conviction. Examples of the women survivors in Kosovo remind us that leadership born in time of pain and sorrow can turn into leadership that inspires entire generations. Their courage is the conscience of our nation. And as president, I have made it my mission to ensure that women have a seat at every single table, that their voice is always heard, that their businesses and initiatives are always supported, and that their leadership is visible, meaningful, whether in the army, in the police force, in politics, and in every single decision-making table. Kosovo's story is not only ours to tell. It is a message to the world. It is a message that the world must nurture and protect. It is the world's reminder that peace is never permanent unless it is shared. Today in Ukraine, in the Middle East, and in every corner around the world, where civilians plead for justice, the lesson of Kosovo stands: never, ever look away. And there is another lesson that history has taught us well, over and over again. Do not appease dictators. Do not appease autocrats. Because every single time that they are appeased, they grow bolder, their violence spreads, and innocent people, mostly women and children, have to pay the price. History has shown us time and again, from Europe's darkest hours to today's battlefields, when democracies stay silent, tyranny prevails. And this is why we must stand against them, firmly, united, and principled. At a time when war has returned to the European continent, when democracy is tested again, and when disinformation fuels division, let the story of Kosovo serve as a proof that peace built on moral clarity and on justice can always endure, and that alliances built on values can save lives. Let's make sure that this alliance of values, this alliance of freedoms, this alliance of democracies is so much stronger than the alliances built between dictators. So, ladies and gentlemen, when women and men lead side by side, nations are strong. When nations unite, peace always endures and prevails. And when peace endures, humanity prevails. This award will stand in the office of the President of the Republic of Kosovo, but please rest assured that every day it will lift the spirit of an entire people. Allow me to end with my deepest gratitude to the NATO Parliamentary Assembly, to President Perestrello, and to all those who continue to stand by our people as we strive toward our full membership in the Euro-Atlantic family. Together, we must not only make this century a century of security, but also a century of justice and hope, where freedom has no borders, when courage has no genders, and we always choose peace first. May the next generation inherit not our fears, but our faith. Faith that alliances can be so much stronger than aggression, that empathy can always outlast hate, and that even the smallest nations can stand tall when they stand for what is right. Thank you so much. Thank you for this honor. Thank you so much once again. Thank you. This is beautiful.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means a lot.
For us too.
Thank you. For all of us together and for your contribution to Kosovo.
Thank you.